As is usually the case, a couple of references to the same thing came together to cry, "Me! Pick me for the next shine." When Ginny, Shirley, and I left off reading our current book of study yesterday by Paul Selig's Guides, the guides had asked, "What is your heart's true desire? And am I ready and willing to offer my heart to that desire? Because that desire is God's wish for me. But it takes surrendering all aspects of myself to realize that one desire of my heart." Concurrently, while going back to write of an incident for my memoir book project, I was reminded of a life-changing episode of grace I was gifted with. It happened about 20 years ago, back around the turn of the millennium, before I had even consciously started down my spiritual path. Dave and Robin had invited all our work buddies from our gang's past several employers to a Christmas party. Kevin and I had attended one of these extravaganzas once before, so we knew what to expect. It was not just any old Christmas party. It was a gastronomic sensation of epic proportions. Dave was a software engineer by day and a closet gourmet chef in his spare time. Though I was relatively more outgoing and extroverted back then, I still suffered from an ever-present case of mild unease and stress while attending parties and social gatherings. On the one hand, I enjoyed the people and was happy to be invited, but on the other, it was an effort to make small talk and appear to fit right in. Of course, the tables and tables of impressive appetizers, entrees, and desserts upstairs and down provided a welcome pastime that kept me busy for a while. Alas, after we couldn't fit in one more bite, it was time for the idle party chit-chat that always provided the vague challenge. Wine helped. I found a seat in the living room on the sectional sofa surrounding a big square coffee table with 7 or 8 other people. Without warning, out of nowhere, a feeling of supreme peace and love for these people flooded through me. Oh my gosh, I'd never felt anything like it. Pure, unconditional love for not only the ones I was with, but for every person in the house. I loved them. Any wisp of judgment or wondering what they were thinking of me was washed completely away. All normal, subtle anxieties and worries evaporated completely, vanished. Every person was so beautiful and perfect and dear to me. There was nowhere else I would rather be and no people I would rather be with. This state of pure bliss lasted maybe an hour until it was time to go. I joined the long line at the door where Dave and Robin were handing out one last parting gift to each of us from a selection of homemade mini breakfast bread loaves. The feeling started to fade at that point, but the memory lingered, fresh in my heart and mind. That feeling I would later label as A Course in Miracles explains it as seeing with Christ vision. Seeing only love in every person and thing. Christ vision is my heart's true desire. I would love to again reflect that pure and all-encompassing love in my heart out onto the world and back again. I think this must have been the feeling that Eckhart Tolle experienced when he tells of his awakening story. From the deepest depths of depression, he awoke in a state of pure bliss. His fear-based ego had dissolved. He stayed that way, pretty much mostly sitting on a park bench the better part of 3 years. I suppose it's the state that many serious meditators have reached when they speak of bliss. I believe it's the peace that passeth all understanding. In my mind, when I speak about my Shine That Divine goal of chipping away at the layers of the fear-based ego, to let my core divine light shine forth, that divine light is ultimately seeing with Christ's vision. When Eckhart was sitting on that park bench marveling at the world, His ego had been blown away. We need that ego to direct our energies toward accomplishing tasks and operating in the world. But we need to claim the ego into the service of and alignment with our divine self. What is my heart's desire? More than anything, I want to become that beacon of indescribable peace and love for myself and for the world. That is my ultimate way to shine that divine.